Things not to do when you're helping somebody out with a foreign language. Conversation exchange or just helping somebody. First thing, why are you learning Turkish? Why are you learning Greek? Sounds like an innocent question, but most of the times it is taken as interpreted as like, why on earth are you learning this language? So if the person who is supposed to help you out is the same person that question the necessity of learning a foreign language, that's really bad. But it can be an innocent question. Let's reformulate that. Okay, interesting. So I'm glad you learned this language. So what pushed you to learn this language? So you start with I'm glad you learned this language, and that changes everything. Second thing not to do. Don't be condescending or patronizing. Don't look down upon somebody just because you speak his or her language better than he or she does yours. She speaks yours. Because maybe he knows other 5 languages very well. Maybe just started 1 week ago, and you started 10 years ago, and you're not comparatively that good. Maybe this person in 10 years time will be much better than you are. So don't be condescending. So don't be surprised or amazed that somebody is learning your language or whatever, any language he is learning. Don't be surprised. If you ask why, ask in a way that you don't make him think that you think that he's doing something useless. Don't treat a person like he's a moron. Everybody who's learning a foreign language sounds like a baby because he cannot speak already. He still can't speak. So be respectful and don't let the person think in any shape or form that you are condescending. Third thing, try to assess the level of knowledge the person you want to speak with has. I made a very bad. Try the assess of knowledge of the learner. Otherwise, either you will condescending because you will speak very slowly, and for the person, if the person knows the language much better than what you think, it sounds condescending. And don't make the person on the other side feel like he's a stupid because you speak and he doesn't understand anything. Look, you should try to understand the levels. Start for simple questions, not too fast, not too slow, and then you move towards a more complicated language if you see that he or she is at ease, or you step back to an easier language if he's not comfortable, he doesn't understand. Okay? Other things, If you start a conversation exchange, don't let time pass. Try to, every time you end a first call, say, okay, let's keep in touch. I'll send you a message. The first thing, you should immediately have an appointment. If you cannot do that, at least fix an appointment to fix the appointment. So send me a message in 2 days time because most of the times people let it drop, let it go. That's par for the course, because just for the reason I said before, people don't feel at ease. Some people want to waste their time. So in reality, it is quite difficult to find the right person that can help you. One of the reasons is that most of people are not professional teachers, don't know these things, are not able to explain things in the target language, but use another language. So we'll end up speaking more the language you already know than the language you want to learn. And I say, every time you speak the language, it's a lesson, the language you want to learn. So it's better to spend 5 minutes trying to explain something, even with difficulty, hardship, then go straight to the language you already know and fix the things in 3 minutes. Yes, but if you need to use another language, there is a problem. Okay, so let's try always, even if a person is at the beginning, one thing, as today I had the same problem. If you can see, use your sight, because it's very important. This is a bottle. The bottle is empty. The bottle is empty. The bottle is closed. The bottle is closed. The bottle is open. Use visuals. Okay? Try to make the lesson not a lesson. It's not a conference. It's not a speech. It's a conversation exchange. That means your string should be neither too tight nor too loose. If you catch my drift. You don't feel, now there's a lesson. Oh, easy, but always focused on, in a positive way, on learning new things. But learning a new thing is a good thing. Don't feel like, oh, I have to learn this, I didn't know this. The more mistakes you find out, the less mistakes you're going to make next time. So take note of your mistakes. Let the person repeat. Make other sentences where you can triangulate the meaning, the way it should be used. Okay? Try to understand patterns in your mind. And the person who is supposed to teach, that means to help out the other person with the language he's learning, should be equally focused. Not just the learner. Even the teacher should be bent on make things clear, on assess if the person has really understood the rule and either internalized the rule or wrote it down so you can go over the rule and internalize later on. These are simple things that nobody, I say nobody, very few people do. Otherwise, language exchange will be very effective. I can tell you that I send messages to dozens and dozens of people who speak Turkish. I speak with some of them. I never got to have a once a week conversation exchange based on some method. Many times people who don't know my level of Turkish, don't know what my goals are, make me do things that I don't like, I don't feel. So try to negotiate. Try to understand. Even if your method is good, and I think my advice is good, you have to make the other person feel and be convinced of that. Even the best method is not effective if the person who is supposed to use it rejects it. Okay? So this is some pieces of advice. Don't make the person feel stupid because he's learning a language that you speak, but you think that nobody else would learn. Try to be on the same level. Nobody is doing anyone a favor. One woman from Turkey said, you didn't even say thank you. Well, you are trying to teach me Turkish your way, which is just the copy of what people or books do. And if I wanted somebody who teaches me like a book, I will get a book. I have a CD. No, I want another approach. The approach is what you can get from real people. What can you get from real people? You can get, first, many books want you to speak in a certain way. Some books are more spoken language oriented. Some books are more literary oriented. Always like strings. The thin line is something that is very common, but it's not too familiar. Sorry, because this in Turkish is a bad thing. But in Italian it means okay. So if you're from Turkey, I don't mean that. Okay? Like if you're from Greece, I don't mean anything by this. There are other than 5. These are also parts of the language gestures. That's why it's very important also to have a video. Because I speak French, I should know that this is, I don't care. I'm not interested. But if I don't have the visual thing, I hear, what the hell is that? So it's very important. Gestures, images, sound, not messages. You have to exploit a medium, a means for what it is. And visual and audio is very important. I would say that I start from audio and visual. And after I heard the lesson 5, 6, 7 times that I find on YouTube, I write it down so I can go over it when I'm on a bus. So I use this time to, because I don't use my cellular phone because I have not many giga to use on the bus to watch videos, for videos or to watch videos. It's common sense, very other things is that nothing to do with language exchange. Take your fucking time. Don't have short-term high expectations, but have long-term high expectations. Because you are laying the the basis for you following improvement, sorry, laying the grounds. So at the beginning I go very slowly, and I try to, from one point of view, to learn words and simple structures, and now and then I just watch videos, but it's not the just now and then, to recognize these patterns and these words, because usually I learn very common words and very simple grammar in the chain of spoken language, in the flow. We say chain, but say in the flow, in the flux of language, and you are exposed to this language, and day by day you will at the beginning pick up words, then you will pick up simple sentences, and then more and more simple sentences, and then you pick up, for example, 10 seconds you understand everything. And the more you progress, the more at a certain point, since you get the most of it, you don't understand, you start understanding from the context. This is a process. At the beginning you need a lot of patience, stubbornness, and confidence in the ability of learning a language. You don't give up just because after I've been studying Turkish for 2 months and I still don't make head or tails of a simple, of 2 lines. I mean, short sentences can happen, you understand subject, verb, object, and adverb. I don't know, even very simple basic adjective, preposition actually are a postposition in Turkish, but anyway. But one thing, I made it for Greek. It was 35 years ago. But if I made it for Greek, I can make it in Turkish. I made it in Greek, I made it in Turkish. So, unluckily, as I said before, it's very difficult to have somebody who really helps you, unless you pay. And even if you pay, you should pay somebody who is good at teaching. So we say, with all the audio-visual material you can find on YouTube, find something graded. If you don't trust one method, use 2 or 3 channels, because one channel is more grammar, more audio-visual, everything. And don't be in a hurry to, no, everything should go down in your subconscious mind. So that means you should go over your lessons every time. That's why I like Asimil. I like Asimil very much. This is just common sense out of my experience, my successes, my failures, actually now failures, my problems that I've overcome. Remember another thing, the first really new language is the most difficult. Other things, don't take for granted that a language is just very difficult just because it's not similar. Don't be spoiled by similar languages like French, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, whatever. They share Germanic or now Latin words and grammar and structure. Those are the 2 main things. Because, you know, let's speak out. English is a Germanic language that is full of Latin words. That means that you're in a situation you can learn German, French, Italian without facing a completely different language. Okay? Nothing is like completely new to you. You always find in a sentence, especially written, because I can understand words in German if they're written, not when they speak, because I have my time, I see the word, anyway. But think that most languages are completely different. And let's face it, a language is mostly spoken. So it's very good that you start to speak a language even before you started to read it. You have all the time in the world. Most of us, everybody as a native speaker, didn't learn writing together at the same time with speaking. Okay,